I was driving on the way home because my husband had to work afternoons tonight, so he had been up since early this morning, and so he drove part of the way, and then we pulled over, and I drove the other part. And I was thinking, and I had texted my aunts because they're like really like my huge supporters. Specifically, my aunt that lives near the surgery center. I mean, both of my aunts are really supportive, but my other aunt is always like texting me and checking up on me. And she's a nurse, and she's just really really behind me. And sorry, it got me thinking. She sent me a text after I told her how my appointment went, and she sent me a quote, and then she's like, remember how did she say it? Your old life is not an option, or going backwards is not an option. And it just made me think. And I don't know if I'm just so emotional. And I'm sorry, the lighting's really bad in here, but I don't know if I just... I mean, I know everything happens in its own time and for its own reason and whatever. But I was driving, and I got to thinking about my grandma, and my grandma passed away a couple years ago. And all she wanted to do my whole life was see me lose weight and be healthy and happy. Like, that's, I mean, she would be like, you get healthy, you lose weight, I will buy you clothes, I'm sorry, it's just, my grandma meant, like, a whole lot to me. I mean, she helped raise me. I have a wonderful mom and a phenomenal stepdad and whatever, but my mom and my stepdad didn't get married until I was like, they got together when I was in 5th grade, and I think they got married when I was in 8th grade. And, my grandma, when my mom worked, I was with my grandma. She, like, raised me, and I think about the things that I'm trying to help my daughter with, because she's, my daughter's adopted, and she has a lot of issues, and one of her things is food hoarding and food stealing and eating her emotions. And that was me too. Like, I had so many, I always felt when it came to my dad that I was never good enough, because he was an alcoholic and he wouldn't and didn't get sober until I was like, I don't even know how old I was, and it was too late. I didn't care. So I always had that feeling, and then he got remarried and had another daughter, and I just always felt not good enough. And I would eat my feelings. I would eat my emotions. I would be upset. And I can remember many times, but I can remember one specific time that my grandma made barbecue, and the way her house was, her living room was up front, and then there was a hallway, and then there was the kitchen, and she was in the living room, and I can remember she had a spoon on the stove from stirring it, and I can remember, like, I don't remember how old I was, maybe 4th grade or something, 3rd grade. I went to the kitchen for something, and I, like, just took that spoon, and I was just shoving that stuff in my mouth. And I just, like, I'm haunted. I'm literally haunted by the things that I did. But it was because I never felt good enough. And I think I'm doing the same thing. I'm trying to help my daughter, you know? So, I mean, just all those feelings were flooding. And I was just thinking, like, I mean, I know that my grandma's watching down on me, and she's seeing all this. And I tried so many times. Like, I got information on bariatric surgery so many times. So many times. And I didn't do it. Why didn't I do it? You know, and I think in my head, I'm like, well, maybe it's because now she's in heaven and she's my angel and she's watching over me, and that's why I didn't die on the table. You know, that's why, I mean, that's why when I had my appendiciectomy, I didn't die on the table at, you know, almost 500 pounds. You know, taking 68 pounds off of me. And that's why when I had my surgery at 456 pounds, I didn't die on the table. You know, but then there's that part of me that just wishes that I could have done this when she was here. And I didn't. She lived in a high-rise for years, and I didn't see her. I didn't spend as much time with her because it was hard. Because you had to park on the street and find a parking place. And I can remember driving by and saying there wasn't a parking place close enough, so I would just not stop, or I'd have to wait and come back. Or then when she went to the nursing home, it was hard too. It was like, you know, I couldn't walk that far. I mean, I did. I mean, it's not like I never went and seen her, but I could have spent a lot more time with her. I could have did a lot more for her. You know, I could have taken her into my home. And she could have lived with me, and I could have taken care of her if I was healthy enough to be able to take care of myself. And because everybody else worked. Nobody else was there 24/7. I wasn't working. So I just have so much regret. And all of my regret stems from me not taking care of myself. And now that I'm taking care of myself, I want to see everybody I love take care of themselves. You know? I'm trying to teach my daughter to take care of herself. And I mean, you know, I'm sure she got a lot of things from me. I mean, like, not necessarily food hoarding, because I didn't do that, and I actually didn't really overeat, you know. I mean, I was dieting a lot around them. Sorry. You know, but even, you know, my husband, he's a diabetic and doesn't take care of himself. And I hope one day he wakes up. And, you know, I wish he would maybe think about the surgery, because it could benefit him. You know, I just want everybody, I don't want anybody to live in regret and to think back like I did. And I know a lot of us do. I mean, I know, that's why I'm making this video. Like, we do.